Is there a thing now that people, because they know you speak French, they're like, does she speak other languages? I don't know.
Yeah, they do. They always insist that I speak German. I'm like, I don't speak German.
That's Sandra Bullock's thing. I
Yeah,
don't do that.
it's Sandy Bullock's, not me.
Acting since the age of 3, Academy Award nominee by the age of 14, Jodie Foster was raised on movie sets. Yet as a kid actor, she was told her career would be over by the time she turned 18. As a leading lady, she was told her career would be over by 40. And now, 2 Oscars, 2 Golden Globes, 3 BAFTAs, and more than a few iconic roles later, Jodie Foster is doing what she originally wanted to do, directing, here in Australia with her 4th movie, Money Monster, about a hostage situation, high finance, all on a live TV set.
Don't move.
This is a union thing.
Oh, Jesus!
When you spend a bit of time away from movie sets,
Yes.
do you miss it?
I really miss it.
Really? Why? What is it about it?
Well, it's my whole life, you know. It's how I feel like I spent more time on movie sets than anywhere else. So I always feel a little lost if I haven't been on a movie set for a while. I'm really comfortable in that sort of group of 170 people during the day, and each person has their task, and you know what your job is, and there's an understanding, like a handshake, about when you get in someone's space and when you don't. And I don't know, it's just, yeah, I feel totally at home.
Do you feel like you were raised a bit by a village, you know, going from set to set as a kid?
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely, I do feel like it was a bunch of family members, you know, and mostly guys, honestly, mostly guys who were teaching me the etiquette of being on a film set. So you always show up on time, and when the first AD calls you and says, you know, you need to come to set, you come immediately. You don't take another phone call. Or there's an etiquette. I think there's an etiquette to it.
You see, you don't even know. I'm not stupidly, I told you. Because somehow these clowns lost $800 million overnight. Overnight. And nobody's even actually explained how. How is something like that even possible, huh? It's not a rhetorical question. I want an answer.
What do you want from me, man? I don't run IBIS. I'm just a guy on TV.
Shut up, Lee! Shut up!
Each one of the characters, in some ways, it feels like it's a part of myself. And the 2 male characters are all trying to figure out how much they're worth. They look at money as a way to ascribe value to themselves. You know, if I just made $10, then I'm worth $10. And if I just lost $10, then I'm worth nothing. In my life, I think, you know, if I was successful, and if my movies are doing well, or if I was making a lot of money, then that means that I'm valuable. Because people are applauding. And you have to learn to get over that. You have to learn that you're not your job. And
How long did it take you to unlearn that?
I think I figured it out last week.
Just before your 4th film goes opens
Just
in the box
before,
office?
yeah, just before yeah.
So your self-worth is not linked to the box office performance of this film?
That's right.
Very good.
You have to have a mantra about, you know, about it. I mean, every time that I release a movie, I usually send an email to everybody on the film on the Thursday before it's released, the Thursday before the Friday, and I say, you know, congratulations, we made a movie. Because that's really a coup, that's an amazing thing. And you have to stand for the movie, whether it does well or it doesn't do well.
As a child though, you were kind of the breadwinner at a certain point in your family. Is there a bit of pressure that came with that?
There's a lot of pressure that comes with being a breadwinner in your family. Yeah, I was the only source of income for my entire family. And,
That's an incredible amount of pressure.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I think I'm kind of designed. I think my DNA is designed to handle it, but it does. Yeah, I definitely am marked by my childhood, and I think in good ways too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it's all bad, but yeah, it was hairy. You know, it's Christmas time, and I got a present that was too expensive, and I would be like, I don't want it. I don't want it. Because I knew we couldn't afford it.
What's the good end of that? So I get in interviews like this, people ask you about that time a lot, and it always gets framed in the language of trauma. So what's the good side of it?
We have a game in my family called childhood trauma.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this I want to hear. Tell me about childhood trauma.
Childhood trauma is, yeah, there's something that you can't do, like you say, you know, I can't go to Disneyland. And you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't go to Disneyland because of childhood trauma. Disneyland. Every time I went to Disneyland, you know, this happened. And then we have to all explain our childhood trauma. It's good and bad, right? Yeah. It's just the neuroses. That's what neuroses is. It's good and bad.
Does it change the way you approach younger people on set? Does it change the way you address them?
Yeah, it does. I'm very careful when I work with young people to not do all the things that I hated as a child.
What did you hate? What were the sort of things you'd never want to see done?
Well, I didn't like it when directors, when I was, you know, 6 or 7, tried to manipulate me. I don't like being manipulated at all. I have like a complete allergy to it. So they would say things like, oh, how's your dog feel? Because I think your dog isn't feeling well. And I just be like,
And that's to elicit a crying reaction
yeah,
from
to
you.
try to elicit some reaction, or let's talk about, when your mom was sick. And I'd be like, how about we talk about when your mom was sick? Yeah, it just made me cold. It made me mad. Anytime I feel manipulated, suddenly my horns start coming out of me. Steam starts coming out of my ears.
Is it true that when you were 14, your agent punched a producer?
Yeah, it is.
What happened?
He called me at a friend's house on the weekend where I was having a sleepover, the producer, and he pretended that we had an appointment that I'd forgotten about, and he had me come to the appointment. My mom was out of town. He had me come to the appointment, and he was talking to me, and then asked me to take my jacket off and turn around so they could see my body.
This is 14 years old.
Yeah, and I was like 14 and kind of like chubby with pimples and whatever. And yeah, my agent went to his office and punched him in the face.
Wow.
Trust me, 47 years in the film business is a long time.
Just lastly, before I leave you, what's the one thing you'd change about the movie business?
What would I change about the movie business? I feel like the respect for the director's vision is gone, I think, in mainstream movies. I think that's what was always wonderful about the art of filmmaking, was that it was about one signature and one voice that was at the helm. It's what I always wanted to do as an actor, was serve a director. That's why I was there, is to serve a director, but that's kind of gone now.
Well, your one voice is very clear in Money Monster. Jodie Foster, what an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.